Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 15 of Civilization 5 Single City Challenge as Venice. Doing quite well. Let us just go straight on from where we left on the last video. Currently building Cristo de Redentor in my one city. Hopefully what will happen is we are going to probably start the international games in a couple of turns, and I will put the Cristo Redentor on hold. I am the tech leader currently, so maybe nobody else is in a position where they can build it, but as I've only got one city, I can't afford not to start working on the international games immediately if I want a chance of getting silver. Ideally I'd like to get gold because I'd like to stop Greece from getting another 100% tourism output for X number of turns. But as long as I get silver, I will be relatively happy. Not an awful lot that I can do on that turn, so we are just going to carry straight on. Still slipping down on the score, but score isn't everything in this game, particularly when you do only have one city. It makes it very difficult to do anything like that. We're 6 turns away from getting electronics, which is quite nice. Making decent money and decent research per turn. We've also got quite a lot of research agreements with people as well, and they're probably going to pop quite shortly. So one thing I should do, because I haven't checked it in this session, and I didn't check it on the last video, is actually just having a quick look at the tech tree and have a look and see what I've got queued up and make sure that we've got enough things queued up ready for any incoming boost. So let's go into the tech tree. So we're currently working on electronics, and as I rightly thought, we don't actually have anything else queued up at the moment. We could go straight into penicillin and go into medical labs. That would give us an extra trade route as well as marines. Or we could go into atomic theory, though I don't think we really need to do that, but it would improve our academy science yield by 2, which could be very useful. So I think we will go into atomic theory after electronics. After that, where do we go? Very difficult one. Possibly into electronics. We don't want to have a nuclear plant because that requires uranium. 15 production, 15% plus 5, which is the same as the solar plant. 15% plus 5. So what we'll probably do is go for a solar plant after that. And that could allow us to get the Sydney Opera House as well as the recycling centre. So we're probably going to go into that, which obviously we'll get penicillin first. We are kind of skipping out dynamite and railroad, but we can backfill these later on if we need to. Don't really need artillery. Neuschwanstein, again, we don't really need. It would be nice to have. Railroads isn't going to help. The extra trade route could be useful. So in fact, we're going to finish electronics. Then we're going to go railroad, then we're going to go atomic theory, and then we're going to go into ecology via penicillin. That seems like the best route of doing things. Meanwhile, we can adopt another social policy. So let's go ahead and get free thought. It gives us +1 science in every single trading post and an extra 17% from our university. So our current science is 401 per turn. Adopting this puts us up to 432 per turn, but it now allows us to purchase great scientists with faith starting in the industrial era. If we actually have a look at what sort of cost they are on, it's 1,000 to get a great scientist. Now, we're not too far away from being able to afford a great engineer, which is good because it means we could rush the Cristo de Redentor when we actually get to the point where we can finish the international games. We have completed rationalism, so we also get to choose a free tech. We might as well go straight into penicillin. It seems silly. We get a free tech. We could either take one worth 1,600 science, 3,000 science, or 6,000 science. So let's take the one worth 6,000 science. There we go. That actually now puts us into the next era. That means we get an additional spy. I think we are going to move you into... Where are we going to move you into? Probably, just for the fun of things, let's move you into Delhi and let's get you in there as a diplomat. And maybe we can put a bit of tourism pressure on you. Assign delegates. Let's enact the international games and see what happens there. Unit needs orders, of course, more cargo ships as always. Where were you going to before? You were going to Sweden, so carry on doing that. Have we met any more city-states? No, but Melbourne has been taken over by Sweden. Or either that or we've just discovered Melbourne. So we're going to give you a gift. We're going to throw 1,000 gold at you. And it's gone to the next turn. We can actually now have an additional 2 trade routes. So that is something that we are going to have to set up as soon as we can. Noticing quite a lot of Greek privateers coming down here, but they are quite possibly coming down because, look, Go Shoot here is actually being attacked. So that is probably the Greeks doing that. In fact, I don't think the Shoshone are at war with anybody else, so it's most likely that this is going to fall and end up becoming a Greek city, which is a bit of a pain. But it's not the end of the world, because of course the Greeks do have a few cities down here. I guess I should move this Gatling gun now. There's no point it really sitting there anymore. Ban citrus passes, international games passes. The banning the citrus isn't the end of the world for me, because I don't really have any citrus anyway. Let's get you back to our territory. We now get to make a proposal. I think what we'd possibly like to do is... Right, Japan is embargoed. And it would be nice to unembargo Japan, because then I could get research agreements with him. At the same time, it'd be really nice if we could embargo Greece. Although apparently Morocco would be angry if we did that, though the Shoshone would love it. So I think we're going to embargo Greece. And let's see how that goes. Let's commit that proposal. Obviously, I don't want Greece to go to war with me, but it's one of those things that might well happen. Do we have anything else here that we need to do on this turn? Yes, we do, actually. We need to go into Venice. We need to change our production, and we need to go straight into the international games. There aren't any buildings that I can buy that is going to speed up production in any way, shape, or form. I could just go right ahead and buy the research lab for the additional science, so let's go ahead and do that. Next turn I can just go right ahead and buy the medical lab as well, which will increase my population more quickly, which means I'll be able to work additional tiles. You're annoyed, although you're neutral now, not hostile, which is weird, but fair enough. It would be nice to embargo you. Ghost Shoot hasn't fallen yet, but I'm fully expecting it's going to happen this turn. You're happy that we chose order, then you chose it after us, so it's a little bit silly you saying that, but fine, we'll see what happens. Still massively behind Alexander on the scores, but again, that's not the end of the world. Ghost Shoot still hasn't fallen yet. We've got a new unit from Hanoi. And we're actually starting to get infantry now as well, which is very, very nice. We can probably... Have we got machine guns yet? Can we upgrade these Gatling guns? We will start upgrading when we can. We definitely have the most money, which is good. Because the world has entered the modern era, we get 5 delegates from the host civilization and 1 delegate per city-state ally. In the next era, we actually get 2 delegates, and we'll be able to start getting a world leader, potentially. You guys are working your way back. Assigning delegates, we actually get to choose the host here. The host is most definitely going to be Venice. Now, Greece wants to ban salt. Do we have salt? No, we don't, so go ahead and ban salt. That's fine, you do that. You're going to be embargoed anyway. Infantry, let us give you the rough terrain promotion, and we will just put you on camping out. Can we upgrade anything? Right, we can't upgrade Gats. We can upgrade pikemen to lancers, although lancers are themselves a little bit dated, but let's go ahead and do that. I realise now by doing that I can't actually go and upgrade my well, I can't go and buy the medical lab, but that's fine, not too much of a problem. I see India are getting quite a lot of cities around. Currently allied with all the city-states that we know of so far. How is the international games going? It's only 2% completed. And my civilization has contributed 116 production towards that. We do need 720 or more just to hit silver. I think we might be okay. Cargo ship is going to continue to Marrakesh because money, money. Very, very profitable trade route. Let's go on to the next turn. Venice is actually only 4 turns away from growing in size anyway. And we're not too far off from getting that great engineer. So hopefully we will still be able to get the Cristo Redentor. Now, it might have actually been an idea for me to have had additional workers just to get some of these tiles improved a bit more quickly, but they do become redundant after a while, especially when you have such a limited number of tiles that you can work. We've rigged an election in Brussels, although our influence dropped in Hanoi. Okay, we've got barbarians firing at some Shoshone Comanches there. And we have a Merchant of Venice. That's absolutely fantastic. That's going to give us a huge stack of money. Have we lost our allegiance with anybody? No, we have not. So let's go ahead and take our great merchant. We're just going to go ahead and move you up into Samarkand's borders, because we're not really using them for anything other than massive amounts of money at the moment. You guys have now finished that trading post. Look at trading posts now. 3 science, 2 gold, 2 food, and 1 culture. So I think you guys should come down on to this one. Did we actually ever get that? Where is the river? Which is the tile that's on the river? It's not that one. It is that one. Yes, we did get an extra construction there, because production you don't normally get on jungle tiles, but we've got the extra 1 production, and the city only had 2 production, now it has 3, so the hydro plant did make a difference. So let's go ahead and get the workers down. Oh, with the merchant standing in there, that's fine, you can only move 1 turn anyway. We're going to go ahead and move the worker into this tile. We'll upgrade this one with the trading post, because then this tile will give us 2 food, 1 production, 2 gold, 3 science, and 1 culture. That's going to be an absolutely fantastic tile now. We're not getting faith from our jungles anymore, of course, because we don't have our pantheon anymore, but a little bit of a shame, but not the end of the world. Unit needs orders. Lancers. Right, you guys now might as well all just camp up, because there's not an awful lot else you can do. We do have enough money just to go in and purchase ourselves the medical lab. So let's go ahead and do that. Are we working all the best tiles? We definitely want to be working that one. We will definitely want to be working that one in a moment, because it's going to be one of the best tiles we've got. In fact, we pretty much want to lock in all of the trading posts. We are getting to a point where we pretty much have all of the workable tiles worked, though. So there isn't going to be an awful lot of point in locking tiles in any longer. Would probably be nice to have another person in the research lab. That's fine. Do we want to put anybody else in any other buildings? Possibly the factories to get the production. So on 97 production, 3 turns until we grow. 98 production, 4 turns until we grow. 99 production, 5 turns until we grow. I think that's good. Having the extra people in the factory is certainly going to speed up the rate at which we get great engineers, and it will give us a lot more production as well. And production is going to be key in this game. So let's go on to the next turn. And because we've just built the medical lab, we can afford to sacrifice working a few of the tiles, because we are going to grow quite quickly. There we go. I was just going to say, if those Comanche riders don't manage to take out those barbarian bowmen, I'm going to be very, very surprised. Not too sure what our great Gallius is doing just sitting around here. I'm sure I've got it on auto-explore, but it doesn't seem to be discovering an awful lot at the moment. I've given up on scrolling the camera around because it just gets stuck and then starts moving all of its own accord. But probably nothing else useful I can get at the moment. I wonder if anybody else has actually even got... Oh, discovered electronics. Very nice. Alexander is constructing Prora. Not too bothered about that. So we must have had a research agreement completed or something there. Oh, actually, I don't think we did. Going into military science now, which is fine. We could go right ahead and... Oh, we don't actually have any frigates. We couldn't build any frigates because we did not have any iron. That was right. Because that was just annoying. The unit does need orders. Right, this merchant, you are going to continue to try and work your way up to Samarkand. You guys are going to come down here and you're going to make that into a trading post. Can't do anything else there, so let's next turn that instantly. So far things are still going well. Alexander has completed Prora. Wow, did he just build that in one turn? Maybe he had a great engineer. But at least if he's messing around doing that, he's probably not putting an awful lot of production into the international games. Because I think the two biggest guys for production are going to be Alexander and Pocatello, and they're too busy locked in this eternal war with each other. Go Shoot still hasn't fallen yet, and in fact it's no longer being blockaded and its health is going back up, so maybe he's got rid of all of those Greek boats. Vatican City is now an ally of Greece, so we are going to have to go and take that back. That's very annoying. Vatican City, you're allied with the wrong people. What's the difference? 2 influence. Have 500 gold, that'll be enough. I was trying to save enough gold to buy another cargo ship. In fact, I have enough gold to buy another cargo ship. So let's go ahead and do that. We have this worker here. You are definitely going to be building a trading post. So give us an extra 2 gold and an extra 1 science. And of course, remember, building a trading post doesn't actually get rid of the jungle. So we still get the additional science from that. On to the next turn, because nothing else we can do. So, okay, why is that showing 10 and that one not showing 10, but it is still giving us 10 science? That's a strange graphical glitch there. Oh, well, we are still... I think one of the things that Civilization 5 does, or doesn't do, that people do find a little confusing, is that it always gives you straight numbers. So, as it says, I'm making 563 science per turn, but there again, I'm not. Because if you actually look at the science I'm making, it's 420 plus 9 plus 91.12 plus 42.9. So there are definitely some decimal points in there that it doesn't show, and it sort of rounds up or rounds down. Same with the numbers, the numbers for gold, is there's often a decimal point that is rounded off that you don't always see. So you might find sometimes, let's say it says you're making 10 science per turn, you may actually be making something like 10.4. So in 3 turns, you'll end up making 31 science instead of 30. It's just a little weird thing that I noticed, but sometimes it does mean that things can be out by a turn or 2. We can actually now purchase... oh no, we are still short. I thought we had enough for another cargo ship, but we don't quite have that yet. You are... It's very tempting to build a customs house, actually. It would give us an extra 1 production, but we would lose some food and culture. And I don't know how much longer the game's going to last, and I think we're probably too close to the end of the game to bother with any more great person improvements at this point. I think we're better off just using them to rush build and rush buy things. New research agreement between Greece and India. I did notice Greece were just sneaking some more ships down here as well. Go Shoot is still recovering though, so it's not doing too bad. Halicarnassus isn't growing too well, but it's hardly surprising because there's just so much tundra around. It doesn't really have access to any food or fresh water, so it's going to be growing quite slowly. Vatican City requests units. That's because they're in a war with the Shoshone, but the Shoshone should peace out with them anyway. Don't know why I haven't. Military science completed. Okay, international games update. It is 48% completed now, and it's well, it says 50 there, and we've put in 513 production. We will probably get enough to get the silver, but I very, very much doubt we are going to get the gold. It's not going to stop me trying, though, so don't worry about that. Cargo ships. Lots and lots of cargo ships. You're going to continue going to Sweden. We can actually now afford to purchase the other cargo ship. That takes us up to 16, which is our current maximum. Still allied with all the city-states that we are aware of. Aware of? Japan, how are you doing for money these days? You're still brassic. We will have to try and get that embargo lifted at some point. Hopefully, if we look at the demographics, we are still top for science. Very, very nice. We're the top for happiness. We are the top for, wow, top for GMP. Bottom for manufactured goods, though, and food. Middle for population. That's not bad. Soldiers were still the very worst, which is pretty terrible. But not to be unexpected when you have a single city. Cargo ship, you are going to go to Brussels, because we do have a few spare ones now. And on to the next turn. Unit requires orders again. Yep, it's used, just because Samarkand keep moving their soldiers around, which is a little bit of a pain in the neck. So now we're working on dynamite. There's only 5 turns for that. We don't really need the dynamite, but we're just trying to get where we are. Greece and India now friends. I thought they already were, to be honest. We will have to have another quick look and see if anybody has any artifacts that we can trade yet. Somebody else has adopted an ideology. That is Mongolia. They have gone with the ideology of order. I keep forgetting what we are now. Yes, we're order as well. So we now have 3 different civilizations that have all gone order, even though they are now into negative happiness, which is a little bit weird. We really need to start putting some pressure on. Let's actually have a look on... Yeah, Mongolia's getting dissidents as well now. Influence by player. See, we're not really influential over Greece at all, but it is rising. If we actually look at Greece... Greece are... No, they're rising slowly with us. How can we stop that? Bonus trade... Oh, right, they have a trade route. Well, I can't really stop that, apart from when the embargo goes through. That's going to help. We could always put a diplomat in there, because we can't really steal tech from them anymore. So that's a possibility. So let's go ahead and take our spy that's in there. Oh no, you're actually in there as a diplomat. Well, that's fine then. If you're in there as a diplomat, you should be doing your job. Another cargo ship, of course. 24 gold from Samarkand, or... Well, we don't want to go to Greece. We'll carry on with this one because we get the additional science. So let's keep trading with Sweden there. Another unit, which is another cargo ship, of course. Where were you going? Nowhere in particular. We could probably continue with Sweden there, and no, we'd be just giving science away, actually, not gaining science. Does anyone give us science if we trade with them? No one at all. So let's go to Samarkand, keep them on board. Starting to get to the point now where I actually have more cargo ships than I know what to do with. So one final thing before I end this video, we will just have a look and see if we can swap any great works. And no, we can't because nobody has any artifacts to trade yet. So I'm going to call that the end of the video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying the One City Challenge. And I'll see you next time. So until then, goodbye for now.